Did I actually... Wait, where did I make it? Did I make it over here? I didn't make it over here.
Video for
Oh, I
you, so I
did.
guess we'll just
Yeah, because I'm going to be on my...
I'll just make it a white screen for you. All right, cool. Well, that should be good. Yeah, so we should be up and running. All right. So you had questions, you say. Give me just a second.
Questions, you say?
All right, so yeah, I'll step away real quick. Do you have the stream up by chance? What's up, Cart?
Pulling it up right meow.
Cart's here already.
Cart Shalom. Welcome, welcome.
Cart got number 1, or got first. It's been a while since Cart's got first. Bam.
Yeah, it has. Glad to have you back in the fold.
All right. So, so get your questions together, and you can entertain Cart and anybody else that shows up. I'm gonna step away right quick, but I will be back.
Squeeze easy.
You're always first. You just happen to have 2 accounts. Is that what's going on? Is you're actually Soul and you're actually accidentally under the wrong account. You're like, wait, let me log out. Let me log back in.
Wild.
Look at me drinking that void. Look at that absolute lovely void juice that I'm getting.
It's just straight up void juice. You know, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I visualized. What do you call it? What's that stupid drink? Liquid Death. That's what I envision Liquid Death looks like. Yes.
Bro, Cart, that would be like that would be the craziest plot twist of all time. Just turns out just like it's actually Soul the whole time and finally just lets it slip one day.
That's fucking funny.
All right, let me step away real quick. Y'all have fun chit-chatting. I'll be back in just like a minute or 2.
Yapping it up. Cart, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you promised me some submissions. Let me actually go look. What am I looking at? Now, it's possible you sent something that I missed. But I remember last time we were on, you were talking about something you had coming up in the woodworks. Remind me of what that was. Because what was the last thing you submitted? So I know, but I play tested it with a few of my friends, and we came to the conclusion that I had a few that were a little too similar with each other. Interesting. So I had to revamp it. So honestly, hopefully by the end of tonight, I'm looking to get it. Okay, not too bad. No worries. Remind me, what was it called, at least? You don't have to tell me what any of the features was, but I remember you gave me a name last time. But I want to go look just for my own sake. To see what was the last. Where are you? We're gonna go the long way. I'm gonna need to charge this sucker soon. That's fine.
Called the list of true power word scrolls.
Speaking of power words, that's along the lines of what I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you a question about true names.
Okay, it's a fantastic topic.
So, I want to know, like, what is the ease in which, from your personal perspective, and then I want to get to like a more Forgotten Realms perspective. But what is the ease in which you can make use of a true name? Is it like the second I know your true name, I can just immediately turn it and use it for something?
Depends on who
Um,
you are and how much you know. I mean, that is one of those aspects where knowledge is power, right? So the
okay.
more you understand how to use it, the more useful it is. So if you mentioned off stream that this was going to kind of go into the topic of the Fae. The Fae
Yes.
knowing your name is something that you want to avoid because they know what to do with it. They know how powerful it is.
Mhm.
They know what kind of influence it holds. Um, but not everybody does. So in terms of, I guess your first question was like, what is the ease of usage? Well, it's as easy as knowing that there are certain types of spells that only work with a true name. So that right there is a very big deal because one of my biggest gripes, I guess, when we talk about magic and one of the things that I've tried to fix with High Point is, that rules versus intended or rules as intended versus rules versus or rules as written, right?
Bruce is written. Yeah.
And one of my biggest issues with that is like, let's say you know who the BBG is, right? But let's say they just go by, Dark Skull or, Red Mask, something like that.
Sure.
How easy do you think it should be to scry on them? How easy do you think it should be to cast a spell that tracks them, right? How easy would it be to use a spell that A, requires your intent, but also your knowledge of the target? So, in my opinion, I take that kind of from a couple different sources. You could think Dresden, Death Note, and then, just in general, the Fae concept that there's a lot of magic that requires you to know the target. Like, right? It's not a target you can see. It needs to be a target that you know. And for me, that's part of the purpose of the power of the name. That's like the base level you could call it in terms of like how that would apply to a player. That's your base level purpose of a real name is there are just going to be some things that you need a real name to truly pull off. Beyond
So,
that, it just gets more specific into the types of ways a name can be used against you.
quick question on the scrying part of things. Hypothetically, because I have the same question about just scrying on the BBEG or whatever, right? But say for whatever reason, I grew up with a childhood friend, and I never knew their real name, and I just always called them some random nickname that I always knew them by, right? But I grew up with them, I knew them my entire life. At one point, we get like separated, they get captured, and I want to scry on them to see if they're okay. I don't know their true name. Would you say I could scry on them?
No, because how would you tell? Because again, this is where I come in. I always comment on the fact of how does the magic know what to do? The magic doesn't have intent. The magic doesn't have knowledge. The magic doesn't know any more than the caster, right? To a certain extent, like talk about wizards and everything. So to cast a spell and then tell the magic, hey, I have a faint memory of somebody. Go figure out who they are today. Doesn't make any sense, which is typically why most of those
How you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because most of the fact is when you know something about someone, you don't know you only know them in a particular case. So if it's like 20 years later, how is the magic supposed to know who you're going after, right? You have a vague memory. You don't know what the person is, which is why most of those tracking spells require an article of clothing or a lock of hair or a drop of blood. The magic needs something to latch onto. It needs some kind of understanding and some kind of knowledge. It's like telling a dog to go find your neighbor, but it doesn't know which neighbor you want to go find, right? Is it the neighbor behind you, the neighbor to the left, the right, across the street? Without a smell, the dog can't go find who you want, right? They know you want to find something, but they have no direction on what exactly do you want me to find. That's how, in my opinion, magic operates. Magic has no understanding in and of itself. So when you cast magic, that's why I like rules as intended, because magic should always lean on the intention, right? It requires the caster to have enough control to gather the magic, enough control to manipulate the magic, and enough control to have the intent to pull off what you want. So for me, yes, if you have an idea of somebody,
Wouldn't be able to give the magic something to latch onto. Their
say
intent
say that
wouldn't be
again.
able to do that. You're saying that the caster's intent wouldn't be able to give the magic something to latch on to. So it's like
But
it
again,
knows.
what your intent is a child 20 years ago that you don't know who it is. You have nothing to give it other than a memory, right? It's not like you can, like some magic, it's like, hey, I know my neighbor, he's next door, he's down the road right now. That's his place. I want to scry on that building to see if he's in it. That's a place that you know, you're familiar with. You could pinpoint the magic to that exact location. But if you're just saying, hey, I want to know where someone is that I met one time, the magic has nothing more than your memory, but your memory is of a different time and place. And so therefore there's no tangibility of a link to that person. So the magic does need some sort of link, and some magic can be overcome. Usually those kind of tracking spells and things of that sort would require something physical, right? Something of the person. But that's where true names can kind of override that. And in a way you can kind of look at those as arcane focuses to material components, right? So if you had a lock of hair, article of clothing, or a drop of blood, that'd be like a material component for that spell. A true name is like using an arcane focus in replace of it.
In the scenario we just gave, would you say you would make a difference if the person was like your blood relative, like a sister or a brother or something like that? Because
the stronger the bond, yes. So there are times where a stronger bond can overcome it. But again, it wouldn't be like, I have a twin I've never met, let's find them. That now, granted, there's always an exception, and here's where storytelling comes into play. Are you an identical twin who was separated at birth? Well, you have blood, and that blood will at least have a fragment of your identical, and therefore
kind of what I was getting at.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, there are extenuating circumstances always that you could use, but the average person, like again, you know of the BBEG, right? You know someone's after you. That's why you can't just cast, scry and being like, I want to see who's following me. Because if it, because if it worked in the way that you have intent, if I just said, I'm going to cast scry, show me anybody who's following me, it doesn't just go, oh, hey, there's a guy in the tree behind you that you don't know about. You know what I mean? Because the magic can't do that. Even though you could have full intent and believe you're being followed, the magic doesn't know that. So
Friendship again?
What up? 19 months, Soul. Thank you so much. What up? See, Cart finally logged into the right account. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean is for me, there's too many loopholes if you don't have a way to direct the magic, right? When you let magic have its own intent and its own logic and its own knowledge, then you really start to bend the rules of, well, how much heavy lifting is the magic doing? Right? Because if it doesn't need your intent, if it doesn't need your knowledge, then how far can I push that? How far can I make magic bend to do literally any? I mean, because then at that case, right, it's like, well, I mean, you have spells like Magic Missile, who it's anything you can see, but it's like, does that mean I can get binoculars? Does that mean I can get a telescope? Does that mean I can scry? And if I can see the person and I can shoot Magic Missile, can it go through the scry, or can it just go miles and miles and miles away because I'm looking at the person through a scrying spell? Well, there goes the audio. I don't know why the audio is so delayed for that. That's crazy.
Wild.
But you know what I'm saying? So like that's where, for me, especially on a storytelling level, it opens up a broader range of things like true names, but it also just helps make magic more concrete. Because if you give it its own intent and its own knowledge, I feel like you open up the door to really questioning, how much is the caster really doing? Whereas if you put it more on the caster and the magic is just that tool, a mindless tool, then I feel like, you put the proper boundaries on it. And then of course you open it up, for my opinion, to a larger section of magic, right? You have like divine magic and things of that sort that have the ability to have a little bit more consciousness and will and a little bit more oomph behind them, right?
Okay, so the reason why I brought most of this up is because I'm curious on how you can use their name to manipulate is the wrong word, but like I've heard you can use true names and like spoken contracts to control someone, bind someone, things of that nature. Is there like when I was talking about doing something like immediately, like right away, like as soon as I learn someone's name, can I like speak something that like binds them or
This is
that
great.
into a contract or something of that nature?
I love this. So write that question down if you don't have it. I want to get to that. We do have a DM question from Cart, so I have to get to that real quick.
Okay.
But I love this question. I want to deep dive into this because this is great. But real quick, coming from Cart for a DM question that they've thought about, that they've been considering for a while. So if you had a pact with two higher entities, right? So you have like a genie and a fiend, or a genie and a demon, or a fiend and a demon, right? So take two entities, I guess, that you have a pact simultaneously with.
Sure.
And the whole point is like you have a pact with them for 3 wishes. Would the question is, would they
from both of them?
Yeah, the idea is that you have a multiple pact with higher deities, and they've given you their, abilities, right? They've given you the ability to call upon them and do that, right? Wishes or a deal, what have you. Would they prefer to have your wishes screw you over only, or the other powerful entity you're in a pact with? So let's say you are in a pact with a genie who gave you 3 wishes and a demon who gave you a crossroads deal for, 3 requests. When you make the request, the question is, when you make a request to either or, is there focus to screw over your request? Kind of like, a Jinn would find the worst way to do your deal, and a demon would try to find the worst loophole. Would they do that focus solely on you and your request? Or knowing you were in a deal with the other, would they gear their outcome to screw the other first? Like, who do they put priority on, you or the other?
Do they know I'm in a deal with the other person?
Assuming that they do. Assuming that they both know about it, would they focus on you or would they focus on the other person?
I mean, it very much depends on whether they have a beef against the other person or not.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like it depends on how well they know each other. Like maybe they are really, really good and they're gonna tag team and fuck you up together. You wish from either of them, they're gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna make this compound under the deal that you made with this other dude over here.
I would say by default, here's my like my lawyery response, right? It depends. I would say by default, they don't care about each other, right? If a random demon found out you had a genie and a random genie found out you had a demon, that just would not possibly matter to them in terms of their deal with you. The genie still has a deal with you and will still be a genie or a Jinn. The demon still has their own motives for making sure that they have to give the least in order to get the most, right? Whatever the deal that you offered them, they're going to do everything they can to give you the least. The genie and Jinn are just going to do the most that they can, usually to get the most entertainment value out of it, right? Like that's kind of their whole purpose in life. They just go about it differently. One just is a little bit more malice. But at the end of the day, whatever you have going on in life is purely to their ends. Now, I will say, yes, you were correct. If they knew each other, if there's some sort of understanding there, then that would absolutely influence it. But at the end of the day, I think it would be more likely that the genie wouldn't care, because at the end of the day, it's just 3 wishes and the deal's done and they have to wait. But the demon, on the other hand, if a demon in league with you found out you had a genie, I would immediately assume that demon would do everything they can to abuse your wishes that you still had left. Either tie it into the deal or force you into bad situations. I guarantee like the demon would be the more likely one to capitalize on the fact that you have a deal with a genie. The genie would probably, I don't know. The genie might fuck up your relationship just out of entertainment, but no other value.
My question would be, do you think the demon would try and get the person to use the wish to benefit the demon? Like,
absolutely, 100%.
Wish something that's going to ultimately be for his benefit. Now, with a situation like that, the question would be, would the demon have to anticipate the way the genie is gonna fuck with the wish?
Probably.
It's like okay, I need to know what, like it's one of those chess moves. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put this pawn out here, and I know you're gonna take that pawn with your bishop, but then
Well,
I'm gonna
the beautiful part about deals with demons is they always have a clause that the deal is only as long as both of you survive, right? So
Sure.
basically, it's built in that if your clause, if one of your deals kills you, then the demon collects. So if the demon can make you use your last genie wish to kill you and get the deal done early without having to give more, they would. If they could use you to get the genie to do something for them, they would. Like, I feel like the demon would be the one to see that as an opportunity long before the genie would. I just don't think the genie would care because they have their own, I guess you can call cosmic interests and cosmic entertainment. But for sure, the demon's going to do everything in their power to get as much power. Now, I would say most demons would be smart enough not to try and get ownership of the genie, but having control over the owner of a genie, so therefore they get none of the kickback, but they get all of the potential benefit. That's where I think you're gonna start seeing, seeing more of the connivingness. So that's my thing. Is by bare basics, neither of them care, but if one of them's gonna act on that information, it's gonna be the genie. I mean the demon.
True that. I'm here for it.
All right, so let's go back to your question. So you were talking about names.
Yes.
And what is like the immediate thing that you can do? So it's a couple answers to this, right? Because of the different influences. So there's going to be some of the ones that you're already familiar with, right? There's going to be certain creatures, certain fae that if you get their name, that's already going to put them at a disadvantage, right? Because their names actually have power over them. They can't not respond to their names. They have to, deal with being summoned in certain ways. And there are a lot more summoning rituals that you can get someone, right? Like if it's usually someone on the mortal plane, you have to do, you basically have to teleport them to you or have to do this big ritual to basically like get them from one place to the other. Whereas with most fae, it takes a circle and calling their name a set number of times. and a little bit more than that, right? It's not like you could just say like Beetlejuice 3 times and that's it. But with fae, it's a lot easier to draw a circle and basically read off a small ritual. As long as you know their real name, you basically can command them there. And if they're powerful enough, they can resist it to an extent. And of course, you can always push that. But then you have to hope that your circle survives.
So my question is doing that, does it like pull them, or do they have to have the ability to transport themselves there? Do you know what I mean?
So it's kind of like, think of it more like the concept of why fae you can't like why fae and salt have a problem. You know, the old mythos where if you drop salt, fae are compelled to count it, and that's why they stay away from salt. Same thing is the rituals are basically, we call them rituals. The idea is you're reading off the scripture, you have the circle. The circle is just the identifier point of where you need them to be, and of course the barrier that's going to hold them there. But if you want to peel back the layers here, right, on the player side, it's a ritual that you have to do. It's a whole magical thing that you have to do. You have to have their real name. But the funny thing is what most people don't really discover, because most people assume it's magic, so only magic users do it, is face summoning can be done by anybody regardless of their magical power. It's just a lot harder because they don't have the natural instinct to draw more magical power, but technically anybody can do it. And the reason being, that whole ritual isn't actually much to do with magic. Like there's a little bit of magic woven into it, but for the most part, it's kind of just you doing almost like a cosmic collect call, like a pager. It's essentially you speaking in Fae, in like a native Fae type language. And so it's kind of like you would expect it to sound more like Latin, right? Like people are just speaking like a wizardy magical language, but it's basically a human version that can be sounded out for Fae language. And it's kind of you just basically, the magic-y part is you breaking the veil open a little bit to access the Fae realm. And then the rest of it is you just audibly making that call, which sends out the compulsion, and then they're drawn to that little hole, and that hole is made by your circle. So you make the circle to make the veil weaker. You basically call out the pager number, kind of like in a hospital, right? It's like, I'm paging this person, you got to get to this room, and they're compelled to do it. The weaker ones will basically get there immediately, and the stronger ones can ignore it for a time. But it is extremely annoying, and the compulsion, especially with Fae, is extreme with them. So, it's along the same lines of why they can't lie after being asked this question 3 times, right? That's one of the more classical tricks of the Fae, right? You have to ask them a question 3 times, and then you eventually get a right answer. It's that compulsion thing. So,
Sure.
having them fight their real name is part of that. Knowing their real name is how you actually get to them. It's how that hole actually goes to them, because of course the Fae realm doesn't work like the material realm. It's not like there's a hole and then everybody can hear it, right? It's like the concept of the hole opens up in the right place because you know who you're asking, and then that compulsion goes directly to them. Now, your question of whether or not there's enough magic in there to rip them there or not, or they go themselves. So that's where that there is a little bit of magic involved in the whole process. So the more magical you are, the stronger the compulsion will be, the stronger your barrier will be, and the quicker you can pull lesser beings in, because if you pump it full of magic, it is kind of like a chain, right? If they're weaker and they're already succumbing to the compulsion, you can speed up the process of teleporting them there, giving it a little boost of magic. The stronger ones will typically opt for the whole, I will arrive on my own terms. So they'll use their own, because while they aren't succumbing to the compulsion, it's more like, fine, I will, I'll tolerate this, or I'll, entertain this conversation.
So in a scenario like that, would you say, say I create the circle and I call this more powerful Fae's name, but instead of showing up in the circle, they show up behind me?
Oh, that probably wouldn't happen unless you really fucked up, or called something that technically wasn't Fae. If you called just a traditional Fae, they would end up in the circle if you did the ritual right. That's
even the more powerful ones. Even
absolutely. Like technically speaking, if you were strong enough and dumb enough, you could technically do that to Queen Mab. I wouldn't suggest it, because eventually she will get out, but technically there's nothing stopping you. But hey, you know what? You do you.
Hey,
so
man, listen.
Oh, we got a second part to Cart's question. What would have you take both of your wishes from either one of them and wish them to be intertwined with the other? Pretty much like saying, you want the demon to have my last 2 wishes, and I want the genie to have my last 2 wishes. Would it just be a race for either one? Okay, so what you're basically saying is, if you had a deal with the demon and you had wishes left over from a genie, and you wanted to gift the other one, you wanted to simultaneously gift each other their thing. Essentially, you could gift the genie, like you could just hand over the genie, and the demon would then technically have access to those wishes. The deal is a lot harder, because usually the deal is very specific to, something that directly has to come from you. So it would be a lot harder to hand that one off, but theoretically, if you could, they work differently, so it's not really like they would be at a race to use up their purpose, like, use up their abilities quickly, right? Like the demon wouldn't necessarily be quick to use those wishes, if ever, and the genie really wouldn't have a need to quickly make a deal unless the deal was to set it free. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, I think that would be more about the intent of each of the entities in their being, and not so much any purpose to do with the fact that they now have access to another powerful being, right? They're just from 2 different areas, and I don't really think their interaction in that particular way would lead to anything beyond what their own agendas are. So if you have a demon,
actually, that's an interesting question, though. Is if a demon could make a genie wish, what would it wish for? Or is anything the genie could do for it something it could also do for itself?
And that's the difference. They both have different magic scales. They have different power scales. They can do different things under different circumstances, right? So in that particular vein, a demon could wish, for easier deals. They could wish for more souls. They could wish, for every deal they make to be success. Again, the downside is how smart is the demon? How smart is this demon to know not to mess with wishes like this, right? Is the demon. Now, that would be a great, deep dive, whether it's a game or a novel or even like a series. But truthfully, giving one of the best crossroads demons a genie wish, like they've been gifted the last wish of a genie, would be a really interesting deep dive concept, because it would be a demon trying to outdo the genie in terms of how the wish would unfold.
Why can't I think of his name?
There's
Cass's
a YouTuber
buddy.
that does shorts about this.
Cass's buddy. What's his name?
Oh, from Supernatural?
Yes. His opposite. His not his brilliant buddy, but
Oh, you mean the devil, or yeah, you mean oh, why now suddenly I can't remember the name? Damn it. Crowley.
That's what I'm saying.
Crowley.
Yes. Okay. If Crowley had a wish from a genie.
Yeah. It would basically be a series. That would be a great series to deep dive on, because it would just be a constant consideration of every loophole. It would just be a constant back and forth of, where does that benefit come from? What can you take away from me?
Mm-hmm. That's wild. That's wild.
So again, it really just comes down to, by nature of itself, there's nothing inherent about those two creatures interacting, those two entities interacting. It would just come down to how free are either of them in terms of their intent and their willpower, and how free are they to act on it, and what are their internal, or personal intents, right? Because a demon with a genie is more powerful than a genie who has access to a demon.
I would agree with that. With that.
Not saying that they couldn't both, utilize each other. It's just that the demon will always have more internal interests. Now, granted, if a genie had control of a demon, if you really wanted to, expand on that idea, what would a genie do with a demon? A genie would get a demon to find them a soul to set them free. So they could use the control of their demon to make a deal, say, hey, go find me someone that will set me free. So the demon would have to go out, make a deal with somebody and be like, hey, I'll give you a genie. It's just this wraparound of, how do you do these wishes, right? So there would have to be some sort of constant.
You have to use your last wish to wish it free.
Yeah, and so that would be so
contract.
like a good. Okay, so how my brain's putting this together, like how it would work in High Point. Like if I had a really smart demon, right? You were talking about like Crowley. So Crowley gets gifted a genie with 3 wishes. Crowley's too smart to know that, hey, wishes are stupid. Wishes will fuck around, right? So he pulls the genie out and goes, hey, here's the deal. I don't want your 3 wishes, because I know you're just gonna fuck with me, and I'm smart. I'm the best. I'm the king of the deal, right? So how this would work would be like, look, here's the deal. If I find you someone who will use your last wish to set you free, then you have to give me one of the wishes unobstructed. So he makes a deal with the genie saying, I can guarantee your last of 3 wishes will set you free. But one of your wishes has to go to me completely untouched or unadulterated. And then what he would do is he would find someone, make a deal with them and say, give me your soul and I'll give you 1 wish of a genie. Right? But the contract would force it to be like, I'll give you this, or he would be like, hey, I'll give you whatever you want, but instead of your soul, I'll give you, you have to set this genie free and I'll give you whatever you want instead of your soul. So he could go to anybody who's on the cusp and be like, fine, if you don't want to give me your soul, all you got to do is set this genie free and I will give you whatever you want. You know what I mean? So it's like, there would be a way that he could devise a deal. Yeah, and that would be it. That would be the way that the genie would benefit the most to make a deal with the demon, is give the demon a free wish, give, you know, some peasant human a free wish, and then that peasant human would do the free, you know, thing. Because basically the whole point would be that the demon would have to give up one of the 3 wishes to the human as the deal. The human would get that wish plus, you know, the would wish them for free. But then the demon would also have to get their wish in there at some point before the, you know what I mean? So there's a way to do it. There's a way that it could benefit everybody, but you'd have to have the right demon and the right genie interacting. And Cart, can you wish for souls? Like, can you use a wish to just like gain souls? Yes, because technically there are unclaimed souls. So technically, yes, one could wish for souls. The problem with that is you need to know what to do with them. And if you don't have that knowledge, it's not beneficial, right? It's not like you could just absorb them and become a god. Like it's not quite like supernatural, right? It's not like you can just, you know, have souls ingested into you and you're just like, oh, look, I'm the power of God. So yes, you can wish for souls, but you have to have a purpose with them. And you know,
I'm curious if you could wish for a soul like in a gem or in a jar or something like that, like a soul contained in something, and then use it as like a power source, maybe.
Absolutely, that is one way you could do it.
Something interesting. But to get to kind of a conclusion on my question, I really want to know how easy it would be to basically speak a contract into existence or a command into existence with a fey creature's true name, and have that be something that like you know when you like make a binding vow or contract or something.
Absolutely. No, this is great.
Try and break it, like, and so like if I get someone's name, I speak a contract into existence, and then therefore that contract that is now spoken into consistent existence connected with that creature's name now has consequences if they then try and break it.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a couple ways that this can be done. This is actually how many of the Fae work. This is actually how some demons work, but for the most part, demons actually use ritualistic contracts, which are actual, you know, kind of like that. They don't know that old school idea where they pull out like a tiny scroll, but then when they open it, it's like a mile long, and it's like the giant, you know, magical contract. That is essentially what demons use. But yes, so the idea of Fae doing deals, that's usually why Fae want your name for a couple different reasons. Like usually what their first offer is they want your name. Most of the time it's because if they ever need you again, having your name is the quickest way to find you. So they love having your name for that purpose. But yes, if you want to do any binding deals with certain magical creatures, having their name is a way to get them into a ritualistic binding. Very similar to doing oaths. It's a different type of magic. It takes a little bit more intent, and kind of like oaths, you know what I mean? It can't just be something you say. It can't just be something you think. It has to be something you fully embody. It has to be just something more than just, you know, a handshake. But with that, because it does have power, it can be controlled. Like most magic, it has the ability to be corralled and contained. And there have been spells that have been made to do this, where there have been they're basically like binding contracts where you go through a small little ritual, you know, usually using your real name, because then that way, when you make the contract, both parties using their real name means that if either party breaks the contract, the magic knows who to go after. And the magic actually already has the punishment built in. So yes, those things do exist both on the mortal realm as well as built into how Fey magic works. So the moment you have a real name, if you know the type of magic you have access to, there's a lot you can do with someone's real name. It just depends on how do you want to use it, what type of magic do you want to use, and what are they?
Scenario that I'm in. I'm going to give you the scenario that I'm in, because I'm trying to do a thing right now. Again, my character is not trying like to be like they're for the most part a good character, right? They are a furbolg, which is technically a fey creature, right? They're playable characters, so it's not like any crazy powerful fey, but like they are at the very least aware of fey-like things, and depending on how much information I get here, will depend on whether it's something I actually decide to pursue or not, because I don't know how much they would know about this, but they're definitely from there, and their job is an investigator, which means they've had to deal with a lot of like cases and investigations and laws, and so like being aware and understanding of contracts and how things work, especially in the Fae, I feel like would be something that's somewhat in their wheelhouse and would be somewhat in their past. Anyways, so there's this library that our party ended up in. And inside this library is controlled by one sphinx with a many forms or many sphinxes, whatever they're called, right? So, but there is the head sphinx, right? Person thing, whatever. They captured somebody that had come in here to try and steal something from them, right? Now, again, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I kind of want to do it anyways. He captured this person and they've imprisoned them in this little orb, right? We, throughout our investigations, found the password that would enable us to unlock many things inside this library. And one of those things is this orb that this person is trapped in, right? And
Okay.
so it's kind of like a little side mission that the DMs provided, right? It's like you can free this person, and in trade they will reward you with like an ability that you can have, right? And so my character's thinking way too deep into it, and so it's more because I went to the head sphinx, right? And I was like, what's up with this person over here? Why'd you imprison them? Whatever. They were like, they tried to steal something from me. I felt some type of way about it. I'm like, how long have they been there? Because like my character's got like a pretty good sense of justice. It's like, all right, like, do you really deserve to be in prison forever
Right.
or something like
Is
this?
it really worth
Blah, blah,
it?
blah.
Is the punishment worth what they did?
Exactly, right? And so like they would be there for all eternity because they have zero intention of ever letting them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, right, my initial stance was like I literally had them roll a persuasion check on me as they're like trying to get me to let them out, and they failed. So I was like, no, traditionally I'm all about like, hey, I want to do things the right way. I want justice and all that, but you got to follow the laws of the land. So I don't know what you tried to steal and how valuable it was. Like it could be worth you being in prison for millions of years, right? And maybe you're not even close to that. So whatever the case may be. What I want to do is I got them to give me their true name, right? And because of the type of character that I am able to tell if they're telling me the truth,
Okay.
right? And so like I rolled whatever I needed to roll. The DM told me, that they gave you their actual true name,
Okay.
right? And so what I want to do is I want to have either them speak out like a verbal contract with their name or something like that, or me speak it out over them, whatever the case may be, basically saying that they will immediately leave the library and never return, that they won't steal anymore, and that they will pay the kindness that I've paid them for freeing them forward to other people.
Okay.
Like something to that effect, right? And so like I'm trying to figure out like, is it even a feasible thing to do something like that in a moment like this, where like you're trapped in this orb, I'm sitting right here, like I want this to be a binding contract so that
I mean, the answer to that really like falls on your DM. Like, is that even something that your DM is even interested in? But like, if you're just looking at the situation, right? If you know the magic is available, that's a great talking point. The thing is you got to make sure the Sphinx would be down for it, right? Like, you got to make sure the thing, like, you can make that deal all you want, and then you can go to it and be like, hey, look what I just did, and it's like, I don't care. Like, they still stole. Like, I don't. It's not that I need them to be gone. They're in punishment, right? But if you got his name, I I mean, you could try to spin it the other way. Like if your DM likes this idea, right? If you talk to your DM on the side and be like, hey, so is true names a thing? Like I want to like spin this. And if they seem like kind of like me where they're interested, but it's like I'm not sure what you would do with it, but yeah, then you can go to the Sphinx and be like, hey, in all of this time, like, because it doesn't seem to be bothered, right? It just looks like a, hey, he tried to steal from me.
Sure.
He's in punishment.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't thought about him since. Like,
yeah,
it's like it's been 2,000 years. It's been a blink of an eye for me. What do I care? So you can try to pull the whole thing of like, so great and powerful. Have you gotten his real name? Like, I'm sure a creature of your stature could, not be bothered. And then you could just try to go that route. Like, why should you be bothered imprisoning such a creature? I mean, you don't even know his real name. Like, couldn't you banish him? Like, could you not banish him from here with his real name? Couldn't you do, and you kind of just do the egg on, like, aren't you are you not powerful enough? I mean, you're the guard here. This is your place. If you're able to, capture him like this, are you not able to kick him out? Like, why would you want to be in the presence of, and then, so you could go that route and just try to egg them on and use his name as a bargaining chip. Be like, I'll give you his real name. I know his real name and you can see that I know his real name. I'll give it to you. If you kick him out, like I'll give it to you so you can kick him out, just so you can, you know what I mean? Like you can go that route. If your DM wants you to have that power, I kind of agree. Go for it if your DM's cool with it, but talk to the Sphinx first. Like make sure the Sphinx is like, hey guy, if I make sure that he never leaves here, will you let him go? I mean, hell, you said, you want him to pay it forward. Spin that on the Sphinx. Be like, hey, what do you need? What do you need, Sphinx? Because if this guy is really powerful or really important, what if you're like, I know his real name. What if I bind him to go do something for you? Because if you let him go, he could just, bugger off and you can't do anything about it. But if I bind him with his real name, if I bind him to go get you something, what do you need for the library? So let him go. We'll make a deal. Let him go and I'll bind him to go get you something as long as you agree to let him go free forever. Like, you don't rebind him when he comes back. Like, there's a couple different routes I think that are great. But I would definitely make sure that you gear it towards making sure you confirm that your DM's going to allow it and the Sphinx is going to be interested in you doing that.
And this is the reason why I'm bringing it up. So I understand those points. I want to be able to present this in a logical way to my DM. Again, I don't know 100% their stance and like how they use all this stuff, but I want to be able to bring it to them in at the very least a cohesive manner with enough backstory is the wrong word, but like
okay. So here, do you still have access to that library, or is that like gone already?
What do you mean?
Like, can you go back to the library? Is it close by, or is it a thing that you were at?
The session in the middle of the library, like the last thing that happened in the session.
Okay, so you haven't gone back. Okay, so how about this? So go about it. Talk to the DM, see if they're interested in the names. Then research in the library how Fae use names. Be like, hey, you like go to how you did it with me. Go to your DM and be like, hey, look, so how Fae have this thing? They have compulsions, right? If you know their name, they have to come to you. If you ask them questions, blah, blah, blah. Present it with that whole thing of like, so that kind of exists, right? So can I look in this library for a way of how that magic works? And can we either work with the Sphinx to hell, if they're saying, yeah, you can control things with their name, you can steer it a different route and be like, wait, can I go find the Sphinx's name? Does the library have the Sphinx's name? Or you can go the route of, what if the Fae have a magic spell that can transport people by knowing their real name? And what if you could say, well, I have his real name. Can I just teleport him out of the orb?
To be honest, I would love to go down some of these routes, but the only hesitation that I have is more party logistical, because I don't want to take what I'm doing and take too much of a detour from what the party is doing.
Yeah.
Away from the story and what's happening, and like try and do this whole research expedition to do a thing. So like,
right,
realistically, if I can contain it and be like, hey, let's do this thing here in this moment, and whether it works or doesn't work, whatever, but like let's attempt to do this thing here in this moment, and then move forward. Like I would traditionally, like if I was playing with you, that is likely the route that I would probably go, because that would be exactly what would make the most sense. But I'm trying to temper my engagement with the balancing with the rest of the members.
Yeah, I would just say like make it simple then, because if you're not gonna go like unless you're going directly back there like immediately after this like to that location, I would just present it as a hey, since I know his real name, is there like anything I could just quickly research while we have some downtime or while everyone's getting set up? Is there like something I can make a roll for to see if I could help him escape or teleport him out of that orb using his real name? Like, is there fey magic? Is there any kind of ritual
to get him out? I already have the key to get him out. It's just a matter of binding him to the agreement that we make that he will leave and not come back. Like, I just want to make sure that there's a way that I can present that logically enough to be like, hey, using X, Y, and Z, which makes sense in Fey lore because of X, Y, because he very much, this is set in the Forgotten Realms world. So if there is lore of the Forgotten Realms of how these things work, or of what do you call it, precedents for being able to do X, Y, and Z, that I can present and say, hey, because of this, and that, like whenever you want to try something and you want to like bring a good case to somebody, like that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring a good case for how and why I could/should be able to do something of this nature, and work with him ahead of time, obviously, so we're not spending so much of this time in session trying to work it out. But if and that's kind of what I was thinking about, like what type of lore is out there for using these things in this way. I almost thought, because I swear we had a conversation, we were talking about the Power Word series, that the power words are kind of akin to people's true names. It's like, what was it called? Like, not meta text, but like almost like soul speak, or like 10th level spells, or whatever the case may be. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's hopefully a way for me to not rationalize, but like I guess, yeah, supporting documentation.
Yeah. So I mean, there is so if you need it, there is some lore in Forgotten Realms that talks about true names. It's not much more than I mentioned earlier, where it's more specific to the types of spells, gods, and fey creatures. But there is direct link to true names. You can look up true names, you can look up true speak, and both of these things will kind of point you in the right direction, where if you kind of want to say, hey, look, Forgotten Realms does say that if I were to use true speak, which you could probably say is in the library, it's like, hey, in the library, can I learn true speak? If you learn true speak, having the creature's true name, you kind of have a little bit more like control over somebody. You have a little bit more influence over them. Having someone's true name is actually what makes power words more, more codified. So yeah, I would say that there is precedent, very little, just like a lot of Forgotten Realms. It was a lot of like top layer lore, but there is precedent for you to make that claim. There is absolutely there. I would just say do a little bit of research on true names and true speak, and just have a little bit of a background there. So when you present it, it's like, hey, look, this is what I found in Forgotten Realms. Can I use this to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish?
Sure. Okay. I'm fine with that. I vibe with that.
Hakate has a DM question for us.
Oh, snap.
What is a widely accepted, quote, good DM practice that you actually disagree with? A widely accepted good DM practice that you disagree with.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Not tracking enemy HP. Fudging enemy HP, or just going off of vibes, is a widely accepted good DM practice that I disagree with.
I would say that I think is still under contention. I still see people on both sides of the fence for that.
No, it's what you personally disagree with. That is, but it is more widely accepted to fudge the numbers and just kind of let the battle go longer, or even end it earlier because it sounds right. That's so far from what I've seen, that is more of the consensus that it's okay to do that than to stick with the HP. So I would say that's my disagreement. Is I still think, like, I have ended combat early because someone did like a death move, right? Like there's times and a place for it, but having an enemy have 400 health and when they've done 200 and you're like, you know what, you guys have just kicked its ass, like we're just gonna end it here because it feels good. Or you only planned to have 100, they do that in 2 hits and you're just like, we're gonna go till round 3. That's what I don't agree with, right? Is own up to your build, own up to what they're going against, and be okay with just making it better next time. You know what I mean? I think that would be my thing.
See, I don't.
But what's yours? What's one that you have? I mean, another one I could say is Deus Ex Machinas. That's usually, I think, an accepted thing. You know, like have an NPC just randomly show up that shouldn't be there. I'm not a fan of that.
I probably have a lot of specific ones, but I think all the ones that I have are just why I have homebrew rules. It's just the stuff I don't like. I just homebrew something different. I'm like, that's dumb. Like, I'm gonna make it like this. Oh, that's dumb. I'm gonna make it like this. But I would say, honestly, I would say that the most widely accepted thing is that you need to be following the rules, and I would say that you don't.
Mm.
You need to make rules that you enjoy playing.
Or at least are consistent on them.
You need to play by those rules. Yeah. Play by the rules of the game that you really enjoy playing, not by the rules that were written in this book. And I think too many people are too focused on, oh, that's not what the rules say, or that's not. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not what the rules say, but like we can create a set of rules that works for us, that we enjoy playing, that we like, and we can enjoy playing that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as we're all playing by a set of rules that we agree upon beforehand, that's really all that matters.
Oh, here's one. A good what's considered a good DM practice that I disagree with. All 20s and all 1s being on for a 20 sided or 20 sided. In every instance, 20s and 1s being crits, because not every situation calls for a crit.
Sure, I agree.
But there are some people who treat everything as like instant success no matter what, and it's like that's not what that means.
I actually just heard this hot take the other day, and I kind of really agree with it. And it's that when a barbarian is rolling a strength check to do something and doesn't succeed, a lot of the times we attribute it to the barbarian being bad at a thing. But a lot of the times we forget that sometimes it's the environment that's the problem.
Oh,
right?
I see this a lot. I see that so much with DMs where they just
the way you explain something can make so much difference.
Well, and we've talked about this like in combat. Like we've made the argument to narrate the misses, right? Because all too often it's like, oh, I missed, and everyone just assumes that means you swung and missed, and it's like, no, narrate it. It bounced off the armor. You physically touched him. You got through his defense. He just has armor. You know what I mean? Like there is that. There's 100% that missing where you're not taking into account the environment and what else is happening. You just assume that it's your lack of skill.
And this is honestly one of my favorite things to do when I have combat with my players. It's I will go through the entire initiative, and then I will, at the end of every round, I will recap those 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And like exactly what happened. So I'll be like, and it'll be like play by play. It's like you swung your sword as hard as you could to the left, but he jumped and he flipped over it. And as he was flipping over it, there was an arrow that caught him in the foot, and he just landed on his head. Like just the whole articulation of what that scene looks like. So even though that you missed, the fact that you missed, you caused him to jump up in the air, and that was what enabled your buddy to hit him. So, right, your miss doesn't feel like a miss if you're inevitably getting something positive done. And if it feels like you're a part of the battle, if it feels like you're a part of the success, like it's a whole nother game. It really is. And that's what I think is I don't know, missing a lot of the times.
I agree. I think a lot of people it's the same thing that I see in a lot of different games, especially in competitive games. You see this a lot where people misconstrue another competitor they can misconstrue when their competitor is better as them being not good enough. And all too often you see this in competitive games when, like, you know, you're in duos or trios and the other team is just honestly better. They're just more skilled. They are the better team. And you have those teammates who sit there and complain that someone's not doing good enough or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, sometimes it's not about doing, like, you do the right thing. You're there and, like, you know, you try to score and the other team is just always there to block. Or, you know, you try to get the shot and they're always ducking behind a corner and then coming around the other side. Like, sometimes it's nothing about what you could have done better. It's just that they were better than you. And this is what it's so hard for me sometimes when you listen to people online. It's like they just assume that if it didn't go right, you did wrong. And it's like, no, sometimes you could have done everything right and you're just against a better team. And yes, you could sit there and nitpick and be like, but if you did this, and it's like, but I didn't. And it's not that I didn't do that because I'm not good enough. It's because that's not what my skill set was at. Or they, you know what I mean? Like, we always assume that the thing we could have done is the thing we should have done or would have done. And it's like, no, sometimes that's just how it is, where I did the absolute best I could with the knowledge that I had and my skill sets, and someone was just better. You know what I mean? But we always assume, no, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong. You could have done something better. And it's like, I think that's the same mindset that you're talking about. If it's always just, no, you missed, no, you swung and you missed, and that's it. It's like, that's not what's really happening. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I like to narrate it where if you have 3 swings and you miss all of them, I'll narrate it as the NPCs being cocky and they're just like sitting there sidestepping you, laughing every single time. But then when you get it finally hit them, it's like, oh, that felt fucking good. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you quote unquote miss their AC, but then you say you come down, you slap them right in the chest, and you see a moment of fear as the armor absorbs everything, and then you see a sign of relief on their face as you miss the shot, right? Like, again, you hit them square in the chest, but you just didn't hit them hard enough for it to matter. But being able to say that they were afraid you were going to hit them, and then nothing happened, right? There's something more to that description than just you missed.
Absolutely.
It also goes along with the short that I made on TikTok a while back, where I was saying that even WotC doesn't truly understand action economy, because people always assume that, oh, I have 3 actions or I have 3 attacks this round. They're assuming that those are the amount of swings that you took, right? And that's where I also feel like these descriptions matter more, because if I only have quote unquote 3 attacks, it's not that I only took 3 swings. It's just those were opportunities that my skill sets and my understanding of my weapon presented me. So I could have swung my sword 5 times, but in those 5 times, 3 of those had an opening, right? So because you've done that, right? Like when you're sparring, especially with weapons, some of your attacks aren't meant to be attacks. They're meant to get them to react, right? You go for a shoulder lightly so they parry you because that opens their left shoulder, or you go for a foot. Absolutely. And then you go for the shoulder, and then you go for the hip because they're just trying to follow you, and all you're trying to do is be like, nope, 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 there it is. And that's what I was trying to say in that short is action economy is not the amount of actions you take. It's the opportunities afforded to you by the skill sets of your class, your background, and everything that you're doing in that fight, right?
When I'm doing flurry of blows, it's not a singular punch and then a singular kick, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing that Neo.
I think of it more like you say Neo, I always thought of it like DBZ. When they're in those super fast where they're blocking, but you're also seeing them getting punched in the face like every other shot, but they're like, they're constantly throwing hands and fists and they're blocking and throwing punches, but they're still getting hit every now and again. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I never thought about the Neo reference.
But yeah, no, it's definitely like that. And so there's definitely an opportunity for a lot of these things, and uh, even sometimes when you do hit, I will make it look like, like it doesn't look like a hit, but eventually what's happening is you're fatiguing the person, right?
Right.
Because hit points isn't just like physical damage, but like if they can't take these hits much longer, right? You are wearing them down eventually. You're getting them closer to 0 HP. So, a lot of the times, like what you're doing might not look like it's a lot, might not seem like it's a lot on the outside, but it really does actually hit.
See, this is why I
So
think
I think it
like
works
this
both
is why
ways.
called shots are underutilized, but also non-lethal.
Absolutely.
Because I would grant non-lethal a better chance at being a called shot, right? Because if you tell me you want to do non-lethal damage, but you say specifically every time I hit, I'm aiming for his forearms. Like let's say you have someone who's using a two-handed sword or a pole axe or something, right? And you're like, I don't care, I'm not trying to kill him, but every meaningful hit I make, I want to his forearms. I would take that as a DM as okay. It doesn't matter if he's at 0 HP. If he has 100 HP, but you've hit him 6 times and he's down to 60 HP, but you told me that it's all at his forearms, he's going to have a hard time swinging. I'm going to start making effects against him for swinging his sword and hitting you. Because again, it's kind of like in kickboxing that we've talked about before, right? If you get kicked in the shin so many times, I don't care how good of a boxer you are. It could be round one. If you got kicked in the shin 10 times, you're going to have a hard time standing. It's going to be bruised. It's going to be sore. And every single time it gets hit again, it's going to compound and be worse. And those are the things where I feel like those are the times where when we talk about, like you were just saying, fatigue, right? Showing that not everything is against their, blood and guts and cuts and scrapes, but it's just purely wearing them down to the point to where their weapon's too heavy, their armor's too heavy, they're just not moving as fast. They just don't want to be there anymore. Like, can you imagine if you had a very easy ability to knock someone prone, and so you just kept doing that, just hoping that it would fatigue them? Because every time they had to get up, they have to stand up in armor.
Oof. That would be
Bro,
dirty.
that would be a great, how we've been talking about like new conditions? So there's the prone condition, but what if there was a new prone stat condition where like for every 3 prones in the same combat, you gain a level of exhaustion? So if you've gotten knocked down if you've gotten knocked prone 3 times in combat, you get a level of.
I think they should be. I think they should be attached to heavy armor, kind of like the disadvantage.
Agreed. Okay, yeah, no, absolutely right. Not anything else, but agreed. 100%. If you have heavy armor and you get knocked for every 3 prones, you gain a level of. Why not? Like if you think about it, if you get knocked down in heavy armor and you have to get yourself back up, that's a lot of exertion. You're not doing that many times.
Why do I want a cantrip that just knocks somebody prone now? Why do I want a cantrip that just knocks
Grease is a first level spell, huh?
Grease is a first level spell, yes.
Yeah, that's the closest. That's the closest you can get is Grease.
Yeah, but I mean, control water theoretically lets you. If I just had a thing of grease, I could just.
Oh yeah, or just throw your water skin on the ground.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Hey, I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, wild, my friends. But thank you, Hecate. I appreciate that question. This might be a hot tank, but I had a role in my campaign. If my players go consistently on the same day without using any spells or magic, to resonate their vigor, if they have had 13 full played rounds, they will begin to hit. Interesting. Hold on. Let me read this again. Oh, I just yanked my charging cord.
So 13 played rounds in a single day or in a single combat? I'm confused on what you mean, Cart.
Consistently on the same day. Without using any spells or magic.
So basically, if they have enough combats that accumulate up to 13 rounds without a long rest, they start getting exhaustion. I don't mind that. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Oh.
If you have too many, I like the idea of combat rounds. That's actually kind of clever. Because if you keep, again, if you have a long ass combat and you just keep pushing and you're like, no guys, we can do it. Like if you're doing a dungeon call and you're like, no, we can do it. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I like that.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of valid. That's kind of really valid.
Alrighty.
Wow, that was bright.
Did we have any others, or did we want to get to game talk for tomorrow?
Yeah, you want to start looking at some games?
Yeah. I got Steam pulled up here, so I figure if you want,
I got my PlayStation Store open.
I don't know if you want to. You have your computer handy and you want to do like a spreadsheet, but I figure what we can do is make a list of all the games you have, all the ones I have. That way we can figure out what we both have, and then we can figure out a list of ones that either of us would be willing to invest into. And this way we can also update the whitelist with all of these, so people can put their various names in.
That's actually probably what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, we can just do it straight from the whitelist.
Yeah, I'll create a new tab for us.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have more games than you. So
absolutely. Other list.
Love the finals. We're probably gonna play a couple rounds here once we're done with this.
Yeah. All right.
If you haven't, Cart, go check out the whitelist in Discord, by the way. If you're interested in joining us tomorrow.
Heck yeah, Cart. We'd love to play with you. That'd be dope. We got to play with Soul for a little while, and what was it, Fortnite?
Yep.
Alright. Okay. Got that coming up. What else? Okay.
There used to be a way I could actually download all my games, like a list. There was a way that you could actually
like export like just a text list or whatever.
Yeah. There used to be.
Let me actually look at my library.
How did you use?
Oh, you know what game I really like, and I think would be really cool if we could play.
What's that?
Gauntlet. I fucking miss that game.
Oh, like the old school Gauntlet.
Yeah, like there's like a newer version than I have, but yeah, old school Gauntlet where you got like the wizard, the thief, the whatever the fuck.
Let's see. Let's see. There's a couple of them. That's not it. That's a VR game. There's Gauntlet Slayer Edition.
Slayer. Hold on, let me look at the stream.
I'm on Steam, so there may not be. All right, let me double check and see if I have to go cross-platform. I might have to.
Yeah, Gauntlet Slayer Edition. Gauntlet Slayer Edition. That's the one I got.
Okay. Is it fun?
I
God,
fucking
release
love it.
date 2014. Holy and it's still
Dude, I've had that shit
$20?
forever.
Come on now.
Is it really?
It's still $20.
That's crazy.
It says
That's
single
crazy.
player only on my side, so it must be.
What?
Yeah, it says single player only.
There's no way. I play with people all the time.
Recent.
It's
Hold on. Single player, blah 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 blah. Does it have? The Steam version doesn't show. It says okay, so 4-player co-op. But is it cross-platform? Online and couch co-op, but it doesn't say. I guess I will have to actually Google it real quick. No. It is not cross-platform. Okay.
really? Rip.
Gauntlet is not cross-platform. Okay.
It's respectful.
All right. So let's go through what I've got. I've got some old ass games. Probably not going to do any of these. I'm just going to kind of go through all the ones I haven't played. I haven't played this since 2018. We're probably not going to play any of those. 2019, probably not going to play any of those. I haven't played any of these since 2020. I don't even know what these games are. You ever do that? Just collect so many games on Steam that you're just like, ah. Okay. Nothing standing out to me as something that I would re-download. Like, there's a couple of small, like, you know, funny games, but I just don't think that they would be worth trying to look into.
Sure.
Well, golf with your friends might be worth it. I don't remember if that's cross-platform. Let me see. Online. There's online PvP, so I think this might be cross-platform. But there's other newer, like nicer golf games that we can try.
You say golf?
Yeah, there's like they get kind of weird golf games out there now that are kind of fun.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not seeing anything in my older collection that I would re-download. Oh, look at that! I do have Slay the Spire part. I think I played that for. I have 6 hours in that game.
Oh, I love Slay the Spire. That's a great game.
Haven't seen number 2 yet, but I have 6 hours in number 1. Haven't played it for like over a year. So let's see. So what are some of my multiplayer games? You know, I could have done that. I could have just like looked at my multiplayer game support. No, not game support. Can I do cross-platform? Why can't I filter for cross-platform gameplay? You would think. Okay, well, let me just search by multiplayer games. That would probably be a little easier, huh? All right, so first one that comes up that'd be interesting. So have you heard of Midnight Ghost Hunt?
Midnight Ghost Hunt. I have not. Is that one of yours?
Yeah, it's one that I have. It's very interesting. I'm checking to see. Oh, it is cross-platform multiplayer. So it's basically like a prop hunt where you have one team that are ghosts, one team that are hunters, and ghosts have to hide in objects, and hunters have to go and figure out where they all are. So it's
I
kind of like a cat and mouse kind of game.
I think I may have seen that.
It's interesting. It's not for everybody, but it's for certainly interesting. Can be a little bit crazy at times. Let's see here. What else is multiplayer? Ooh, I would absolutely get back into Ready or Not if I had multiplayer. Let's see if it does cross-platform. This was a fun game. It says online co-op.
The whole game's called Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Yeah. I do have that part. I don't think I have it downloaded. I haven't played that in so long.
Is there any chance
Deep
it's
Rock,
Midnight
that's what it is.
Remastered? Is it a top-down pixel game?
Which one?
Midnight Ghost Hunt?
No.
Okay. I'll have to look that one up later.
Yeah, it should be. Should be able through Epic. And it is cross-platform. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I will say that's not as interactive of a one. Like, we could still be on the same team, but unless we're all hunters, there's not as much like direct interaction. So I'm not really sure how like entertaining that might be, with a group.
Fair enough.
I do have Deep Rock Galactic somewhere. How long has it been since I've played that? I haven't played that since 2023. But yeah, Deep Rock Galactic is one. Have you ever played Ready or Not? Or have you heard of that one?
Ready or Not. I'd have to see. It kind of sounds familiar.
It is a SWAT game, or a realistic SWAT game.
Realistic SWAT game. Interesting.
Yeah.
You said something galactic, right?
Deep Rock Galactic is one that Cart had mentioned.
Deep Rock Galactic. Are these ones the ones that you're telling me right now? There's ones that you already have, right?
Yeah. So far, these are all ones that I have.
Okay, got you. Ready or Not? Let me look that up real quick.
I'm trying to go through what I have and what would be entertaining to try and actually get people to play.
Ooh. I have not seen Ready or Not. It's very interesting. Is it just like Call of Duty or what's
No. So it's a full-on SWAT game where it's you and up to you and a squad of 4. They're either AI or everybody fills. You go to different locations and there are different missions. So sometimes it could be like a drug cartel. Sometimes it could just be like reports of like a kidnapping. So you have to go into locations. You have to go slow. You have to like peek around corners. There could be booby traps. You have to like check, like use cameras to check underneath doors. And it's not just killing too. Like, you don't just go through and murder everybody. Like, the whole point is to like get them, like you can shout at them to drop their weapons. You can stun them. But the whole point is you're a SWAT team. So you're trying to go in, cause as little damage as possible, but also complete the mission.
Okay, bet.
So if you're interested to, think about it, maybe put that on the maybe list. It is kind of expensive.
Deep Rock.
Army of Two. Oh my god.
Oh, I miss Army of Two. Do I still have that? I should look into that. See if I still have that.
Bro, Army of Two. That's going way back.
Yeah, it is. That's like Halo days, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it's not cross-platform.
It's not?
No. It's not even on
Like,
PC.
that's way
Yeah, it never made it to PC.
before.
Too old
Oh,
school.
rip.
All right, so yeah, so maybe put Ready or Not on your maybe list. Again, maybe a little bit too expensive to buy tonight for tomorrow, but it's $50 on my end, so, and it's a couple-year-old game, so it's kind of brutal for how old it is.
Let me go back and look. I just put it on my list.
Sea of Thieves is definitely one that we should both highly consider. I love Sea of Thieves.
Oh, you know what? It's on sale for me.
Oh shit!
It's 37. It's on 30. It's $37, right? It's still $40, but
Yeah, it's still on sale, so definitely maybe put it on your wish list and consider it. You know, if we don't find anything better.
yeah. It's not outside. Depending on what else we're trying to do, it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
Let's see. Was there anything else that was supposed to go on the list?
Sea of Thieves would.
Oh, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that's the next one. Oh, Cart says sometimes the bundles are actually cheaper. So if you find a game, you can look it through with bundles, and it might actually end up being a better deal.
Oh. Okay.
So I guess, yeah, you have to go into the game and then look and see if it's part of a bundle. And then that main bundle might actually either be cheaper or just in general, you might get more for your money. So, little tip from Cart.
Love it. Love it.
I feel like I've played so much of this game and yet I have like hardly any hours on it in comparison to like other games that I feel like I have as much time on. That's crazy.
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, I only have 157 hours and I feel like I have like 1,000 on this game.
That's funny. Sea of Thieves is $40, so it's about the same as Ready or Not.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think there's more value in Sea of Thieves for the community, but if you and I just want to get into a game, I would totally be down for some Ready or Not just with you and me.
Cool.
Let's see. What's another easy one? Is this cross-platform? It says online co-op. Let me see if this is... no, not crossplay, so we're not playing that one. I would suggest this one, Outlast Trials, but this is definitely an adult-only stream. Like, we're already, you know, not necessarily a child-friendly stream, but this is definitely one that we would have to... I don't know if we could play this with the community. I think this would have to be, we could play it together on stream, but
Which one?
Outlast Trials.
Outlast Trial. Is it just gory? What is...
It touches on a lot. Like, there's a lot of trigger warning aspects to this game. So it's crazy, but there's just a lot of imagery and a lot of things that...
Yeah.
It's not the best game to play on stream without all of the right warnings and all of the right things.
Very fair.
But yeah, so if you're interested in a horror game that's like both of us like basically trying to get out of a place by accomplishing different goals and hiding from monsters. It's called The Outlast Trials.
Outlast Trials. Let me see if I can find that. I don't know if this game is multiplayer, but it was a game that I had fun playing forever ago, which was called Torchlight. I'm not sure if it's cross-platform or not, but...
Torchlight Infinite? Torchlight 2? Torchlight 3?
I have Torchlight 3, and I think I have Infinite on my phone. I thought that was like a phone game.
Infinite is free. Mixed reviews, so it looks probably it's probably because it was a mobile game. But you said Torchlight 3 is the one?
Yeah, that's the one I have on here.
Oh, back in 2020. This one also has low mixed reviews.
I mean,
So
there might have been a
top-down,
reason
like
why I stopped playing
MMO.
it. It kind of gives me like cartoon Diablo vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just crossplay between Xbox. Does not support crossplay between Steam, PlayStation. Okay.
Rip.
Yeah. Fuck. Monster World is not really my kind of game. That's the only downside is I don't really, never got into that kind of game.
Yeah, you're right. Monster World is wild, or Outlast Trials is wild.
Yeah, like we could talk about it, but like, yeah, it gets crazy, dude.
It is $40, but that's all right. That's all right.
Let's see. What else could we do? Oh, Grand Theft Auto 5. We definitely have to consider you getting Grand Theft Auto 5.
This is true.
I would love to do.
That is one that I would mess with.
Because specifically because I can do an invite-only server, we could still do all GTA Online stuff
Bro,
without having to be bothered.
Right now, it's $9 right now.
Bro, I would that one if 100%. I would just say if you can, let's at least get that one. I would love to roll around in some GTA with you, get you to get a character, and then we can just get that set up later.
So GTA 5 and it's online, right?
Yeah. So what you need to make sure though is you need to make sure that you get GTA 5 Legacy, not Enhanced. So I think you have to buy the bundle, if I remember correctly.
What are we talking about?
So there's two. There should be two GTA. There's GTA 5 Legacy and GTA 5 Enhanced. You need to make sure that you get the one that includes Legacy.
Okay. I don't even. So it says choose edition: Grand Theft Auto Online, PlayStation 5, or Grand Theft Auto 5, PS4, PS5.
You probably want the online one then. If you're, I mean, you may just have like the ability to just get online, which would be dope because then we can just hop right in line. So yeah, so probably just get the one that has GTA Online.
Okay.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one, yeah, I'm glad that one's on sale. That's dope. That's amazing. What year is it, Cart? Come on now. See, when was the last time I played that? Where is it here? I last played Among Us in 2020. That was the last time I had it downloaded. I have 9.7 hours in that game.
Apparently, there's like a maybe that's VR, but like there's like a way more 3D version of Among Us now, where people are running around. They look like actual people, and yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see.
It's official. I got GTA 5.
Sweet. Okay, so that's at least one that we'll have. Let me see if this one's cross-platform because this one's kind of silly. It'd be fun to play with chat. Nope. Okay. No, it's only PC only. We already have Marvel Rivals. One that's kind of interesting is called The Headliners. Let me see if that one's cross-platform. Yes, it is. Oh wait, crossplay between Steam and Steam Deck. It's a Windows PC. Not yet available on console. Okay, never mind.
Rip.
I
have something called Headliner Navi News, whatever that means.
No, that's different. We could try to do a group Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia. How you spell that?
PHASMOPHOBIA. Yes, it is fully crossplay. So yeah, this is a ghost hunting game.
That one's $15. That's not too bad.
It's a steep learning curve because there's a lot to learn, but if you know, if you go in with the right people, it can be a lot of fun. So that one I would say a maybe on, but I don't know how often you would want to play it. Like you and Vixie and I play it all the time. So
Sure.
could be something fun, or it could just be like it only does with the community. So I don't know if it's worth investing into right away, but it is a fun game.
Sure. Fair enough.
Overcooked. Overcooked was a cool game. I just got Arc Raiders.
You got what?
I got Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders.
Yeah, that's the new hotness that's been out. Let me double check and see. That should be crossplay. Pretty sure this is crossplay. Yeah, fully crossplay. So Arc Raiders is like the new popular extraction. So it's like you go into different maps, and then you have a certain amount of time to rummage and collect things, and then you got to get to an extraction point, and then you go back to your main menu and use all the stuff that you collected to upgrade, and then go back out.
I think I've seen people playing this, but I've never actually knew what it even was. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of lore, but at the same time, there's not. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just dropped it and was like, yeah, it's just post-apocalyptic world. Have fun.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a racing game because of the color stripes,
right?
And the R. And then I just immediately was like, ARC Raiders. Oh, okay, whatever. It's some racing game. Guy looks like he's wearing a racing jumpsuit.
Yeah, same people that made the finals too.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Embark Studios. Good call out, Cart.
I might mess with that.
So yeah. So if you're interested, it is expensive, but I just bought it. I think like a week ago. When did I buy this? I purchased this like last Monday, I think, or either this last Monday or the Monday before.
You're enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah. It's definitely one of my favorite shooters. Like what they've done with their lobbies is really nice. So the nicer, because you can go in, you just go into these maps and there's other raiders, right? So if you go in and don't PvP and you like help out other people, it will constantly put you in other lobbies with people like that. And then the moment you start being a dick and like killing people, you'll start to get put in aggressive PvP lobbies. So like if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to be a jerk and you don't want to get killed every single time you're about to leave a map, you can just be the chill person, and like people will just like be helpful. Like I've had random people just show up and like heal me just to help me get out because they were nearby and saw me go down. So it's one of those things where it really, I like that it keeps lobbies equal to your playstyle.
I have a game that I used to play forever ago. I think there might be a newer version of the game, but it was a game called Dungeon Defenders. It was like a funky multiplayer tower defense kind of game, and it was kind of interesting. I don't know if it holds up, if it stands the test of time, but
they have a Dungeon Defenders is $15. Dungeon Defenders 2 is free.
I have Dungeon Defenders 2.
But it's free for me right now.
Oh shit! I mean, we can always try it out. I don't know how many players you can get up to. I think it might be 3 or 4.
Let's see. Does it say? In 4-player co-op.
Nice.
Let's see. Installed or installing.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Let's see. So what else do we have? So Phasmophobia, Arc Raiders. You already have the finals. I've been really enjoying Sniper Elite, but it's not really a multiplayer game in that facet. And I'd love to get a Rocket League like team going, but you can really only get up to 3. And I don't know how many people want to like grind out practicing Rocket League.
Yeah, I would have to see how quickly I catch on. I've seen people play. I've seen like the type of skill sets people use for that game. I don't know if I'm built for it. I mean, sometimes I surprisingly catch on and like I catch the vibe for it, but other times it's like I don't know what the fuck is going on in this game.
Yeah. Cart, are you solo queuing? Like, are you just going out as a solo? And do you normally PvP? Because I literally got PvP'd once. It was my first game out. I got PvP'd, and then it was my second game. But yeah, every single game I've actually run into some pretty cool people. I have yet to really like face any real bad
Are you talking
players.
about
But
arc raiders?
yeah. But I have yet to actually like try to fight anybody. So I don't get into any direct combat. So
That
I
just
usually
goes to
also help
show
people
you,
out.
Cart's probably out there murking folks every time he goes out.
Right. On the prowl. I gotta feed these cats. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right, another beverage. Another beverage. There you are. I got the worst guacamole the other day, you guys. I need you to know this. It was the saddest thing in the world. This shit was like liquid, bro. I'm like, I don't know why anyone would even put that in the store and call it guacamole. It was just gross. Terrible. So what else we got for games, y'all? Okay, so here are some of the games that I wrote down on my list that I saw that I would actually remotely enjoy playing. I have like Minecraft, Genshin Impact, Dead Cells. I don't think that's multiplayer. Path of Exile. That could be multiplayer, but I don't know. Dragon Age Inquisition. I doubt that's multiplayer, but it could be. Smite. I'm pretty sure you can play that online, but I don't remember.
I can
The
see if
Division.
it's on Steam. Smite 1 or
yeah.
well, Smite 1 and 2 are both free.
I don't know about 2. Do I have 2? I think it's like a card game though. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't see any cards.
Oh snap! Oh, is this like League of Legends?
It's very interesting. Yeah, it does look very League of Legends-y.
I think it is. Yeah.
Very Dota, League of Legends.
I played it forever ago. I fully forget how to play that game style at all. But
yeah, the top-down stuff is not usually what I go for.
Yeah, me either.
But what else you got?
The Division. That was a fun game back in the day.
I don't know. I tried it.
Did you?
I really wanted to like that game, but my old manager was really, really into it back when I was in sales. And I really wanted to get into it. I don't know. There was just something about it that just didn't, I don't know. I couldn't really get into it. I think it was just because it was too slow paced. There really wasn't like a lot. It wasn't a good mixture of the stealth and high action that it had. Because it's like there'd be a bit of walking around, a little bit of stealth, a little bit of action, but none of it really felt rewarding.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Let me see. What else did I have on here? Let It Die. I really liked that game. You're running around either as death or for death or something like that. I don't think it's multiplayer though, for whatever reason. It's been way too long since I've played it.
Let's see. Let me double check. Single player. There's a Let It Die Inferno. That looks more like an RPG. It does say co-op, but
oh, interesting.
Hellgate tore open, treasure, descent to the abyss, conquer, Reaper challenge, seize your future from the bottom of hell. It came out in December 2025, so it's very, very new.
Oh,
looks very
25.
Yeah, but it looks hella old. Like honestly, like looking at the graphics, it looks like an older like game, but yeah, it's
the first Let It Die is a very old. I don't even remember when it came out, but it's like it looks like Tony Hawk. Like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the Let It Die Inferno looks a little bit better than that, but not by much. But yeah, it's that's there. It's
Oh, I do
only
see Inferno.
it's $25 for me.
Oh, 22 for me.
Let's see. What are the
Interesting.
reviews on it? A lot of people. So it's basically not really complete. A lot of people are saying it's not worth the money.
Mm,
It's probably just too new, so we might want to hold off on that one.
stand by. Okay.
All right.
Keep it on the list. Uh, Path of Exile. Have you ever played that?
Path of Exile. First one is free.
Is it? That's good because that's the one I already have.
Free to play on the first one. Another top-down kind of like feels like Diablo a bit.
It's this is the one with the insane skill tree.
Oh.
It's kind of crazy.
See, I don't.
They just came out with a second one like last year, I think.
Yeah, the problem with these ones is like how much time do we have to invest in it? Like if we're gonna be doing this only like once or twice a month, with like trying to game with everybody, I don't know how much we want to have to like.
The games that are more get in get out are kind of probably more preferable.
Yeah.
With the exception of, I feel like GTA, you can build something more longevous with that rather than.
Luckily with GTA, like the individual missions are jump in, jump out, whereas like the development of like characters and role play and whatever we want to do with it. But yeah, at least like that, because that's the thing is like with those games, you only progress if you're playing, whereas like with GTA, it's kind of just like you're there to have fun and then you progress kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's why it's like Arc Raiders is kind of interesting, but it's only going to be good if people already played on their own and then want to group up as a group, right? It's it's not like Marvel Rivals where it's like, oh, let's just hop in for a quick match and then we'll hop out. It's like there's some games where if you don't already own it and want to play on your own, I don't necessarily, I kind of hesitate because it's like, is it really worth the investment if you're not going to enjoy it on your own?
That's exactly how I'd say about something like Genshin. Unless you're like a Genshin player, like I'm not going to be like, hey, go get this game. That's an entire undertaking.
Well, it's the same thing with Rocket League. I would love to have a solid like Rocket Team crew, but if you don't play this game, it's not going to be worth trying. Like I said, like I feel like I've played a shit ton of Sea of Thieves and I only have 157 hours. I feel like I casually play Rocket League and I have a 920 hours. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those games where, see, I can pop in, play Sea of Thieves for an hour and have a blast. Rocket League, it's like you need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, it does get frustrating if you don't. If you're not really familiar with how the game works, it can just get frustrating because it's not mechanically fun until you understand how to do that. Does that make sense? Like some games you can just run around and just have a blast regardless of what what you're doing. I don't really think Rocket League is as fun when you don't know what you're doing.
Fair enough. Okay. Capes. What is this game? Why do I add it to my list? Ooh. I just saw a game that I put on my wish list forever ago because I really liked the game XCOM. The game XCOM was one of my favorite games ever. It's like this turn-based strategy game, like
I remember it.
Tactics game. It's a tactics game.
I played that days and days ago. There's like 10 of them, but I do remember one of the XCOMs.
Yeah, and it looks like there's another game that's like that. But again, none of these games are multiplayer.
Oh, damn. I was like, which one is it? I want to look it up.
I mean, you can see if you can find a game called Capes. I think is this one that's called.
Just Capes? Capes.
Just Capes, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. It's came out in 2024, single player only.
Rip.
Looter shooter games, it really depends. Like I was able to mess around with Borderlands for a little bit, but I can't. I never finished it. It's fun. Again, that's one of those ones you can kind of pick up, but after a while, it's just like I don't know. I
Borderlands
don't.
was kind of fun. Yeah. What
It's just
about like what's the game? The really popular one with the Pit Boys and the vaults.
oh, you mean Fallout?
Fallout, yes. What about something like that?
I've tried Fallout. I have 76. I had that when it first came out. Again, it's like they can be fun, but they do just require a lot of time to progress through.
See, I feel like most of these things, like if I have a crew I roll with, I have a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But if I'm running it by myself, eventually it'll get old. And I think that's what happens. And when it gets old, it's kind of hard to get back into because I still feel the oldness when I get back into it, even if I'm running with people again.
Interesting. Let me see if this one is cross-platform. Hecate said Arena Breakout is free to play.
Arena Breakout. Ugh.
Not crossplay. Wait, so Infinite Breakout does not feature crossplay. Does not look like they're crossplay, unfortunately.
Rip.
But this looks like another like extraction shooter, so similar to Arc Raiders. Okay. Well, I mean, unless you have any others that we want to look at.
Baldur's Gate, Minecraft, Genshin, Dead Cells, Path, Dragon Age, Smite, The Division, DC Universe, Dungeon Defenders, XCOM, Skyrim, Let It Die, Torchlight, Splitgate, Kyborg, Hades, Destiny, and that was the last one. Destiny and Destiny 2. That was the only one I was gonna mention. But again, I don't know how much it keeps up. Destiny 2 is theoretically a free game, but you have to pay for like ridiculous amounts of like the DLC. But you don't have to play any of the DLC. You can play a bunch of stuff that isn't. But again, is it worth it? Who knows?
Well, I mean, because right now that puts us at, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think right now you and I are at 4 games that we have that we both can play right now. Because there's finals, because we have finals, GTA, Marvel, and Fortnite.
Yes.
So those are the 4 because you're gonna get GTA, right?
I just got it. I just have to download it.
Oh, and then Dungeon Defenders. We also have that one because I just got that one.
Oh, okay, cool then. Yeah.
So that's 5 that you and I guaranteed to have together. And then yeah, I guess the only other question is whether or not I would do another gaming with the community without you, because then that could expand the game list. But for right now, I think those 5 are a good starting point.
Okay. That's legit. I'm here for it.
It'd be nice to have more, but I mean, it's a good start.
I need to get some external storage for this thing. It'll be a good investment. If I don't buy any other games, I'll invest in a hard drive. I've been meaning to do that anyways, so it wouldn't be a bad idea.
So that one's not available, and then Hecate also suggests Dark and Darker. Let me see if I have that. Dark and Darker. It's free. Hardcore fantasy FPS dungeon PvPvE adventure. Interesting. This kind of reminds me of that Robin Hood game I was playing that never picked off the ground. I'm so mad at that game. Question is this crossplay?
Ooh, I don't know if I have it. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. It's called Dark and Darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
It's an Epic game. So you might I don't know if that matters on the PlayStation. Because you have PS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not available on the PS5. Damn. It's only PC. Sucks.
Rip.
All right, well, we got 5 games to start with. We always are interested in doing more.
Absolutely.
So we can always expand the list, but it has to be crossplay. All right, cool.
Yes.
Well, I think we're set up for tomorrow.
Did you hear that Microsoft bought Steam? Is that true?
No, I want to say that was an April Fool's joke, but
Oh, if somebody played me and they got me, because somebody said that Microsoft bought Steam and the next Xbox was going to be Steam compatible, which means you can play all your Steam games on the Xbox.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that same thing, but I want to say that was an April Fool's joke.
God bless America. Here, making me look like fools.
I mean, you know, we're not famous yet, so at least, you know, the pool is low.
No one knows. Rip.
All right, cool. Well, it sounds like we have 5 games that we can try for tomorrow. I think we still have 2 if Cart didn't sign up for the whitelist. We have at least Soul and Hecate to join us.
I don't have anything from Cart in the whitelist.
All right, that's fine. But we can try that again tomorrow. So we'll start. I have to hit up the Wanderer because I said that I would let him know what games we have. So if he owns any of them,
very fair.
Might join us. So
That would be dope.
let me make sure. After stream, I'll have to confirm with you the list again. Or no, it's just the 5 games. Yeah, so I'll be able to send that over to him. Actually, you know, let me just text him now, and if he has any of these games, he can join.
Got it. I should probably. Yeah, it'll be alright.
Let's see. So finals, Marvel Rivals,
Fortnite.
Dungeon Defenders,
Dungeon Defenders.
Dungeon Defenders 2,
GTA 5.
GTA 5 Online, and Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I think he has Rocket League, but again, not sure that would be a really good one.
I mean, if he plays Rocket League, I'd love to see y'all two go at it.
I don't know. I think we played Rocket League a couple years ago. Helldivers. I never got into Helldivers. Like, never got into the hype.
Me either. But I've seen other people play it, and it looks interesting.
It looks very interesting. It's kind of like an extraction shooter-ish.
Yeah.
That one's $40. Maybe when it goes on sale, we'll reconsider.
Splitgate is still over here? Oh, snap. Are they trying to make a comeback? Marvel versus Capcom. Oh, snap. That's some old school stuff right there.
All right, cool. So yeah, Helldivers, we'll see if that goes on sale.
Oh,
All
do
right,
I
well,
play Helldivers? I can check.
Do we want to hop into anything tonight, or do we want to save gameplay for tomorrow? Unless we have any other games that we can think of to research, I think that's a good list to start with. I mean, even if we only play 1 game an hour, that's a 5-hour stream right there.
Oh, that's very true. Helldivers 2 is $40 for me.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on the.
I would buy it if it goes on sale, but I don't think it's going to be my kind of game to play offline. So $40, I'd rather at least get it like 15% off or something.
Sure, absolutely.
And there's always deals.
There's always deals. Actually, this spring sale.
Yeah, spring sale should be coming up soon. Summer sale, all of those.
$20. Resident Evil, Poppy, Monster Hunter, Resident Evil. Do people even still play Call of Duty?
I have no idea. I got off that one a while back. I got away from the toxicity. Like, it's just getting too much. Like every little thing. It's like you know what I mean. It's like, wouldn't let you do anything right. You know, couldn't do anything right.
Everyone's got to be bad at something.
Yeah. It's either your fault or you're a sweat or you're cheating. It's like there's no winning in that game. So I was just like, you know what, I'm done.
Y'all are just haters out here. Y'all are just mad for no reasons.
That's really what it is. You just can't have fun no more.
All right. Well, you trying to play something? You want to chill? What are you thinking?
I mean, I got some time. You want to do some finals?
Yeah, let's fuck around with some finals.
Oh, we have a this or that. Who would win? A level 20 wizard with infinite clones or the Raven Queen?
You did say infinite.
It depends though, because infinite clones could mean they can clone themselves infinitely after death, which is usually what the clone spell is for. Or they have like an infinite army. But I'm gonna assume that just means that they essentially have an infinite source of clones and can't be killed, but but the Raven Queen would still win. Like even at 20th level, I'm pretty sure the Raven Queen still wins. All right, you just got
Raven Queen. Isn't that the god of one of the gods of death or something like that? They're the kind of the afterlife or.
Hi, what do you want? Why?
I feel like she's got something like that. But yeah, she could rip the soul out the wizard probably. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, she could probably stop the process just with her power alone. Probably be like, yeah, you're not gonna go back to that body now.
Yeah. Now, is this 20th level wizard on its way to Lichdom? Like, maybe that's a different story, but
right.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm gonna put my money on the Raven Queen.
Yeah, probably. I have an update for the finals. I didn't realize it's 20 minutes.
Oof. That's okay. We can. I mean, I'm down to chill. I mean, it may go faster than that. Who knows?
Let's hope.
It happens. It happens. Bro, you just got fed like less than 20 minutes ago. I know you're not already asking for food again.
I need food. Love me.
All right, well, we can chill out, but I don't know. It depends on how long you want to stay on tonight, since we're going to be gaming all day tomorrow. So, you want to wait for the update that's chill? Because I got nothing else to do tonight.
My only question is, am I trying to go get some food?
That's important.
Or am I gonna if I'm just gonna eat something here at the house?
I mean, that's definitely a good fucking question.
Oh my god! I just opened Fortnite and they got Zerg. Oh, they got Zerg, bro. They got Toy Story up in the Fortnite store.
That's funny. Yeah, they're doing D&D right now with finals.
Are they really? The finals got D&D on it?
Yeah, D&D skins.
Yo, that's dirty.
They're okay. There's only like one of them. Like, I think Morgana's is the only good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other ones are just fantasy based, but Morgana's like the better one. I don't know. The Iron Vow is kind of cool too. Like, it's like an old squire outfit. There's one that makes you look like a old school wooden target. I mean, I will say that one looks pretty slick. All right, well, let me, I guess, well, we're still chatting. What are you thinking? You gonna stick around for the update? You want to play?
Let me look. I got out of it, so let me see what it's looking like now.
It's up to you. Like, we can end here, we can play. Leave that up to you. I'm just gonna be chilling for tonight, getting ready for tomorrow, and then yeah, I got a lot to do around the house on Sunday and Monday. Gotta prep for some changes happening.
True that. True that.
You know how it is around here. Something's always changing.
Always got to be doing something. All right, let me. You up and load, my guy. Hold on, let me go down here. See if I can get it in the downloads. Bruh. Yeah, you playing me. You playing me. It's going back and forth between 17, 20, and 25, but then it keeps going down, and then it keeps going back. It's playing me. I don't know what this thing's gonna be doing. We might be here for a while.
Right, it could be one of those, like, it's done in 5 minutes or it's done in 45.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call it for me here. I'm gonna
go
let
get you
this
some food.
marinate for a little bit, and this will be my opportunity to go get some food for sure. I think it stopped pouring outside. So,
yeah. I think it's done. All right, cool. So we'll end it here.
Next couple days.
We'll end it here, and then we'll be back tomorrow with the community stream where we'll be gaming with chat. So you can join us if you want. Remember to join the Discord if you haven't, and then go make sure that you join the whitelist if you want to join us tomorrow for gaming. Because if you're not on the whitelist, not only do you not have your username, but you haven't agreed to the rules. So get in there, go to agree to the rules, get on the whitelist, and then come game with us tomorrow. That's what we're on the book for the community stream. So we'll be in between 11 and 12 Pacific Standard Time. So catch us then. Otherwise, I hope you guys had a great week. Hope you have a fantastic weekend if we don't see you tomorrow. But otherwise, have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you in the morning. Cheers.
Cheers, my friends.